Well, hello hyperspace, my name is Davontos and it's time to get hyped because this is some Modern Warfare remastered gameplay. And I actually want to talk about something that one of you guys suggested in a comment below a few videos ago. Now, I would display your name up on screen, but unfortunately you have it in Japanese characters and I don't have kanji available on the PlayStation 4. But I do know we speak quite a bit on Twitter. Your name is Woshi Gaigen? Woshi Gaigen? You're a huge Hatsune Miku fan now, you know who you are. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. But, you actually suggested we should talk about some zombie aliens. Now, I actually made this video back when I was covering the World War II aliens, World War II zombies, and said it plays out kind of like scary stuff like extinction and whatnot, and Woshigagen said that we should talk about zombie aliens. Now, imagine zombie aliens in a Call of Duty game. Now, imagine. It can be like a survival mode, kind of like zombies, right? You have your regular zombies, you go through each wave, and instead of it being zombies, is cryptids. Now, I know a lot of people were really iffy on the Ghosts survival cryptid campaign, Extinction, but a lot of people also really liked it. They liked it so much that when Infinite Warfare came out and they just went back to zombies, a lot of Infinity Ward fans were questioning what happened to the cryptids, what happened to Extinction Chapter 2, because Extinction Chapter 1 kind of ended with a little cliffhanger. And then, that's when we all found out that it was like a huge film directed by Willard Wyler and all that mad stuff. So, imagine just a whole new Call of Duty game that specifically focused on the cryptids. And they can do it the way Extinction used to be played, that you have an objective, complete the objective, and you move on to the next level. Or it can play out like zombies, which is where you have the cryptids and the zombies, and they could even add a little twist to it. Maybe the cryptids are emitting this kind of toxic, poisonous gas from their little nests, the same nests used to destroy in Ghosts. Maybe those nests are emitting some kind of poison gas that turns people into zombies, so you can actually play this cryptid extinction zombie campaign, and it's basically like playing Dead Space, but in the Call of Duty universe, using all of the Call of Duty monsters that we've grown to know and love, even reaching all the way back to Call of Duty World at War. We can have the Hellhounds, we can have that evil director from, I think, what was it, George Romero, was it? From the Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This was way back in Black Ops 1, and we can even include the cryptids, and we move on to Infinite Warfare and we have like the Brute and those evil clowns. We can just bundle all of this up and make a zombie, survival kind of like Call of Duty game. I don't know, maybe call it Call of Duty, I don't know, Survival, or something like that. I don't know, I suck with these kind of titles, but just imagine the feedback that Call of Duty would have, and it would be a huge twist. Call of Duty's always been military themed, it's always been military themed. Even the multiplayer is still military themed. Now granted, some are more realistic than others, but it still revolves around that whole military aspect. Imagine just changing it completely and making it a horror game, just like Dead Space. Now, you can still have, your multiplayer stuff where it's, player against player, but you can also have multiplayer game modes, just like the survival game modes, where you have to survive, waves upon enemies. And if you actually go back to, I think it was Call of Duty World at War, it actually had a cooperative campaign where I believe you could have had 4 people join you in a campaign mission. I don't know if World War II was like that, but I do know World at War was like that. You can even include this in this new Call of Duty survival game. That way you can have, like, you and 4 friends play throughout the entire campaign, surviving these waves of ongoing monsters, and you can see all the cutscenes together. It would be amazing. I mean, Call of Duty actually, stepped off aside out of the jetpacks, which was a huge change. It had its positives and its negatives, but they still, did that step for the huge change. Now they're going back to boots on the ground, so maybe when it's time for a change again, they can probably go on to horror. I mean, you can actually see the zombies from World War II. It does have a huge horror aspect on it. The zombies got the jump scares, the zombies look terrifying, everything about it is just very gory, gruesome, and scary. They can build a game around that aspect. And as I said, they can take all of the monsters we've all grown to know and love, like the cryptids and so on, and toss it in there for just a huge, scary fright fest that can be a new Call of Duty game. That would be amazing! We could even hop onto like the online side and use Team Deathmatch, for example. Imagine playing Team Deathmatch, 6v6 and so on, 6 players against 6 players, But while you're playing Team Deathmatch, imagine if zombies start coming into this and the zombies would be attacking other players. Or maybe the cryptids. Or let's say, your example, you're just playing regular Team Deathmatch and then a brute from the Infinite Warfare Zombies in Spaceland. Imagine if a brute just appears out of nowhere and starts attacking everybody. And they can add these little bonuses, you know, kill the brute and you get extra XP. You know, whoever lands that fatal bullet gets extra XP. It would make everybody, you know, go from playing standard Team Deathmatch to actually working together to defeat this big boss. And once the boss is down, then it just goes back to a regular Team Deathmatch. It would be really, really fun. And just like Washigagan suggested, zombies, aliens, we can also toss in the cryptids in there as well. So instead of you dealing with the brute one game, maybe on the same map, it can always be a randomly generated boss. So instead of being the brute that shows up, it can be a cryptid rhino, or maybe a cryptid phantom. A few cryptid phantoms. Imagine if you guys are playing, I don't know, let's say Search and Destroy or Domination, and you're trying to capture the objective or plant the bomb, and all of a sudden while you're planting the bomb, all of a sudden all these phantoms, the cryptid phantoms, just show up out of nowhere and then start attacking you, so your team has to go crazy, deal with the cryptids, which alerts the enemies on your location and what bomb you're going for, so it just changes the pace of the entire game. And one thing I also want to touch on, which is something Call of Duty hasn't really been doing that I notice a lot of other shooter games are doing, is character customization. Call of Duty isn't really a lot, well, I know they're kind of going into character customization now, but they're not as in-depth as other games. Like, if you guys played Metal Gear Solid, I think Phantom Pain was it, you had full customization of your character's face. You can make your character look like John Cena, you can have a character look like Ellen Page and all that stuff, so I think it would be really cool if you can actually have that kind of in-depth personalities and customizations into these characters for whatever new Call of Duty game, you know, comes out. And I just feel like it would be a really, really cool idea. Hear me out, Treyarch or Infinity Ward, preferably Infinity Ward. Just make this game, it would be amazing. And that's the end of the video, so if you like this video, punch that like button with a mighty force. Thank you, Washigagan, for the suggestion. And you guys can follow me up on Twitter at DavontosMan. And as always, I'll see all of you in the next video. Have a nice day.